You are light. You are light. Today is Palm Sunday, the beginning of Holy Week in the Christian tradition, the beginning of Passover in the Jewish tradition, of which Jesus was Jewish. I think we all know that. But I think it's always good to kind of remember that as we go into Holy Week. Jesus rode into Jerusalem on a donkey, and he told his disciples, his followers, to go into the city and go to a certain place and find a young donkey for him to ride into the city. I always found that kind of interesting, the pomp and circumstance of which we were taught that Jesus entered Jerusalem. Now, I wasn't there. I don't know if any of you were there. I don't know what really went on. But Jesus had been teaching for 3 years. He had been teaching over and over and over again that the kingdom of heaven is within you. That I and the Father are one. That anything that I can do, you can do. Is that where that song came from? Anything I can do, you can do better. I mean, that's basically what he was saying, right? With more time, with more evolution, with more waking up, Jesus was letting us know that we are all connected, that we are all one. And he rode into Jerusalem at the beginning of Passover, and he was met with throngs of people. And they laid palms down in front of him, and they were singing, Hosanna, loud Hosanna. Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord, the King of Israel. Jesus found a young donkey and sat on it, as it is written, do not be afraid, daughter of Zion. Look, your king is coming, sitting on a donkey's colt. The New Testament references the Old Testament quite a bit throughout Jesus' teachings in his life, because that is what he knew. He was a student of the Torah. Palm Sunday, the beginning of Holy Week. In the tradition of unity, where we interpret the Bible metaphysically, we don't take the Bible at its literal printed meaning, which it can be challenging because there are so many different versions of the Bible, right? But we interpret the Bible metaphysically. And when we interpret the Bible metaphysically, what we are looking at is whenever you visit any passages in the Bible, what relevance does it have for you in the moment that you are reading it, in the day that you are reading it? It is your message. My message is probably not your message. Your message is probably not my message. The kingdom of heaven is within you. You are the light. We are the light. We are the divinity. So as we enter into Holy Week, I want us to become aware of what is inside your heart. I want you to be a little more conscious of spending time of that quiet place within you where you hear your answers. And that quiet place within you could be in the middle of a busy concert. when all of a sudden you have that flash of shh, peace be still, and that holy inspiration? Does your God speak to you in loud hip-hop music or in quiet native flute music, or both, right? We can listen and hear the voice of our divine source in any way at any time. What I want you to fully know and remember that it is your God and your voice and your journey that comes together within the journey of the whole. To pay attention to the real instead of sometimes what we see. Just want to give you a moment. Do you see it? I shared this with Candace earlier in the week. I don't know if I had seen this before, but I came across it again this week. It always makes me laugh. And I was sharing it with my grandson last night, and he went, "What? That's not a lady, that really is. Isn't that animal or something from the mountains?" I said, "No, Henry, that's her headband and her sunglasses." I have to stop looking at it because it always makes me laugh. You know how you have those times in your life where there's just so much going on, and sometimes the intensity of the world is so intense that all you can do is laugh? That's the way this week has been. And it's made it so much easier. So, no, that is not a Muppet. It is a woman with sunglasses on her head. I threw 5 shoes, 3 broom wax, and half a can of Raid Extra Power. Turns out it was a hair clip. Right? Doesn't that look like a huge spider, Charlotte? Right? Yeah. Things are not always what they appear. Things are not always what they appear. Rarely are things what they appear, because there's always more. No matter what the appearance is, no matter what we think, maybe we would swear on the Bible that we know absolutely for sure, guess what? There's always more. There's just always more. There's more wonder and mystery and grace and love to be revealed. So I want to share with you a poem. Every now and then I use it, John Rodell poem, and this one came across this week, and I just love this so much. I'm tired of hot takes and cold evangelists. Certainty and theology seem an impossible luxury for me amid our endlessly expanding universe, where the breath of love is still exhaling new galaxies into existence every few seconds. Each day, creation takes time to reinvent herself. Who am I to sculpt her as if she is in her final form? The long division of the great mystery has no answer key. Who am I to attempt to solve it? God is a mapless quest that asks me to get lost inside the journey. God is a picnic basket that keeps unfolding itself, that asks me to sit on it and enjoy the fireworks that a couple of nebulas have arranged for me to watch. I love that line. God is a picnic blanket that keeps unfolding itself. There's always more. It asks me to sit on it and enjoy the fireworks that a couple of nebulas have arranged for me to watch. The expansion, the beauty, the light, the vibration. I'm not interested in solutions that arrive in finely pressed Sunday clothes. Answers make the worst lovers. I'm on the lookout for riddles wearing sundresses made out of curvy question marks and wearing fire truck red heels of relentless enigma. Unknowing is my favorite form of seduction in a world of people who want me to sit in the pews of their egos. I have become a breeze through the Wyoming pine trees, letting the love of first date energy carry me from one new horizon to the next in search of nothing but the question. I used to be afraid of my doubts, but not anymore. Now it's all adventure. What if we could quit trying so hard? Just quit trying so hard. Are you tired yet? Are you tired yet? To take a breath and step back and just allow for the questions. Come up with the answers. Listen for the answers, but don't get attached to the answers, right? If we get attached to our answers, then we're not listening for the questions anymore. We're just trying to convince ourselves over and over and over again of what we think it is that is true. This poem will start you to thinking about all of the questions that you have ever thought about God, that you have ever thought about theology, that you have ever thought about the universe. And each question leads to another question. Is there a God? Oh yeah, there's a God. Well, what kind of God? Is there really even a God? What is this? What is that? If there is a God, then where is God? Is there a heaven? If there is a heaven, then where is it? Is there a hell? Does hell even exist? And what is it, right? An atheist would tell you that there is no God. An agnostic would say, yeah, maybe. A Christian would tell you, yes, but you can only get there through Jesus. Other faith traditions and indigenous traditions, it's the Great Spirit. It's Muhammad. It's Yahweh. Right? There are as many ways to think about God as there are people on the planet who have a thought. And the truth is, it is endless. The truth is, as Jesus taught, the kingdom of heaven is within you. You are one with the divine. We are part of the divine source. And this is what I want you to remember as we enter into this Holy Week, this time in the Christian tradition. Whatever your belief system is, as Janet Manning sings in that song that I want to remember to sing more, something's up in the universe. Something's up in the universe. And right now we can feel it as we enter into this time, this week of our world where there are religious celebrations. There's more attention that can come into the world. There's more intensity that can come into the world as people are celebrating their religions. And maybe, not always, not everyone, but maybe forgetting their spirituality because they're so intent on their theology. The theology is very interesting to study, but it is the spirituality where we are truly fed. So I invite you this week to just open your heart. Lay palms down in front of your own path as you walk into a room. Sing Hosanna loud, Hosanna to yourself. And find that connection with the God of your understanding, with the God of your being. My friend Lauren McLaughlin, she and her husband John were ministers at Unity of Independence, Missouri for a number of years before they retired. And she shared with us today that she always loved it when the youth would come in to the sanctuary at the end of the service on Palm Sunday, and their hands would all look something like this. They were the palms. They were the palms. The Spirit of God is within them. We teach our children that they are precious and whole and divine and complete, and we love them just the way they are. And the more they know that, the more they will be that, the more they will live that. And the more that we tell them that, maybe we as adults will also remember to start going, oh yeah, that means me too. Oh, wait a minute, if that means me, then oh, it must also mean you. And our differences begin to diminish. And we remember more and more and more, as Candace sang so beautifully, that we are the light. We are the light. And you are the answer, for you are the divine. And so it is. And we give thanks. As we remember the divinity of who we are, we give thanks. And I want to share with you, before we affirm together our offering blessing, that next Sunday's Easter, and Kelly was going to be singing with John and Daryl and John's daughter Natalie, who's going to be with us playing the violin, but she needed to step aside. And Kelly, we just send you, Kelly's moving to a new location, to a new home. So if there's anything you need, let us know.
Just hold me up.
Just hold you up. So she stepped out of singing next week, and Cheryl Lockett will be here.
Oh, even.
Yeah. So Cheryl will be singing with John and Daryl and Natalie.